Hello everyone, Josh first out again with some more Epic 7 Now. The long, and I mean long and very anticipated 130 update is here. Guild Wars are finally coming, as well as Hazel's specialty change has finally been revealed, and some of the new Moonlight characters and other good stuff is here as well. Now, let's get into it. Okay. So, of course, we have the Guild Wars has arrived. The Guild Wars, to participate, your guild level must be 6 or higher, and you must have at least 20 members. Guild War schedule. Guild War will start and end each server respective reset time. Korea 0300, Korean Standard Time. Global 1000 UTC, and Asia 0200 CST, which is Central Standard Time. Guild War rewards can be claimed by the end of the next Guild War. So on Tuesdays, you're going to have war preparation, and on Wednesdays, you have war in progress. This is kind of similar to 2 Grand Chase that I used to play as well. Thursday and Friday will be the same. Saturday, there will be no Guild Wars going on at all. This is going to basically be just, a day off, I guess. Sunday and Monday, again, will be much like the other days of the week. And, of course, rewards will be available at the end of those. Guild Wars process. Form defense teams and positions in the building during the preparation period. Once the war begins, attack and dismantle enemy buildings. Guild War can be initiated by tapping into the Guild War in the Guild Hall, which you can clearly see here in that image. Guild preparation period. Form defense teams. All guild members can adjust their defense teams during the preparation period. Okay. Base positions. The guild captain can place defense teams once more than 20 defense teams have been formed. Guild Wars must meet the following requirements during the preparation period to participate. At least 20 defense teams must be positioned in base. There must be a defense team positioned in the stronghold. Players may choose to position defense teams in the defense towers in each respective fortress. However, please note that if 2 towers are either empty or destroyed, the stronghold will be vulnerable to enemy attack. Base overview. So we have the stronghold, 1 structure. We have Fortress 1, which will have 1 defense tower, 8 buildings. Same for Fortress 2 and 3, and then total will be 28. So 28 structures in total. The base is built on 1 stronghold and 3 fortresses. A total of 28 defense towers can be positioned throughout the base. So we got a little bit of images here kind of showing us how it works a little bit. Shows you all the players that are waiting, their rank, their, looks like full team CPs, etc., etc. Guild War in progress. Guild War matchmaking. Once the Guild War has been started, the Guild War period will be displayed in the lobby next to the guild icon. Players may tap into the Guild War button to check the enemy guild. And then you can see here we have the enemy guild and our own guild with our strongholds and our fortresses and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Attacking the enemy. Players must destroy the enemy base by defeating enemy defense teams. All battles will take on a 3 vs 3 format for a total of 2 rounds. Every attack launch will consume 1 guild crest. Guild crest, a crest issued by Azera and Terraner. The owner of this crest is granted the authority to mobilize soldiers in the mock battle. Any heroes is defeated during battle cannot be placed in an attack team until the server reset time. Based on the outcome of the battle, players will inflict damage to the enemy building and receive corresponding havoc and conquest points. Once the building HP reaches 0, the building is destroyed and will yield additional havoc. Destruction of strongholds and defense teams will yield a greater amount of havoc. 3 players may attack the same building at a time. Okay, and you can see here kind of how it's set up a little bit with the challenging. Very interesting. Base protection status. Strongholds and fortresses are protected when the Guild War is first initiated and cannot be attacked. Stronghold. The structure will remain protected as long as more than 2 defense towers remain, excluding unoccupied buildings. Fortress. The structure will remain protected as long as any of the surrounding buildings in the fortress remains, excluding unoccupied buildings. Guild War result. The guild with the highest amount of havoc by the end of the war will be victorious. After the end of the Guild War, players will receive Mystic Medals in the Guild War lobby. Mystic Medal. The medal allows you to summon heroes from Orbis, but sometimes it calls heroes from a different universe. Players will receive standard base rewards on individual results. The Guild War results will determine the amount of additional rewards awarded. Finally, the amount of rewards will increase depending on the guild's rank. Players who sign up for the Guild War and do not participate in any battles will still receive the standard base reward based on the Guild War. So that's very cool. Miscellaneous. If the guild captain is not a member of the defense team in a building, that member cannot participate in the Guild War. Each guild member can battle up to 3 times a day. So you'd probably want to choose who your targets are wisely. The new Moonlight heroes Specimen Sez and Kitty Clarissa have arrived. I like the name Kitty Clarissa, aka Cat Clarissa, but I'm not really a big fan of the name Specimen Sez. Specimen Sez. Mystic Sez or some other kind of cool name would have been better. Specimen Sez. Alright, whatever. The new living weapon Specimen Sez is in search of the original Sez and desires to kill him to prove his superiority. Sounds kind of similar to Moonlight Ken and regular Ken. In order to reduce complaints about Clarissa's violent personality, researchers turned to Clarissa. They turned her into a lovely Kitty Clarissa. Meet Specimen Sez and Kitty Clarissa in the Moonlight summons as well as the new Mystic summon. And then if they got the video there, which you guys can watch. I will have this link in the description. So Specimen Sez is right there, and I've already read him over. He's pretty much going to be a PvP unit. His skill 1 attacks with an iron mace with a 35% chance to stun the enemy for 1 turn. I'm assuming with skill investment, you might be able to get that up to 50%. Presumably, we're not sure yet. We don't actually know the skill enhancements yet, but that's probably what it'll be. After awakening on his skill 2, which is only 3-turn cooldown, attacks all enemies with evil claws, increasing the caster's combat readiness by 50%. So him giving himself 50% combat readiness is really, really good, very useful. His skill 3, which is a cooldown of 5, which I'm assuming you should be able to get that down to a 4 if he gets a 1-turn cooldown. Attacks the enemy with a light storm. If the enemy is stunned, penetrate their defense. Now, here's the issue with Sez's skill set. It's very, very effective based. So, for example, he attacks with an iron mace with a 35% chance to stun the enemy for 1 turn. Now, that is a single target move. His third skill is also a single target move. So unless that S1 actually goes off, his S3 will not be as useful. So his S3 is very heavily dictated by how well your S1 goes off. So if you do not get that stun off, your S3 will not be very helpful. And so, you know, there could be that particular time where you may get the first S3 off, but if you have a chance to do it again, within the match, you may not have nobody stunned, therefore his S3 won't be as good, or the first time you do it, you may not be able to take advantage. And another thing that I hate about his S3 is you can't use it at the beginning of the match because it won't be as useful because you have yet to stun anybody. Unless you put him, his speed or whatever, to have him go after a big debuffer in your team that can stun on their S3 or whatever their big move is. Like, for example, you could run Syra Ren with Zeno, and Zeno could get his S3 off and hopefully stun some people, and then you can go in what Specimen Sez and do some great damage with his S3. However, I mean, that's just a hypothetical situation, but it's just like, I'm not really a big fan of his skill set. He's definitely geared towards PvP, it seems, but I don't even know if he's really all that great. But you guys can let me know in the comment section below. I'm just not really a fan of his skill set because I don't really like S3s that rely on S1s in being a PvP unit because you're not really wanting the battle to go on for that long. So you usually want to generally use your strongest moves first, but you can't really do that with Sez unless you already have somebody debuffed for stun before him, or you have to use his S1 first and then his S3 and hope that you did get a stun off with his S1. So it's a little funny. It's a little weird. But he does get that combat readiness off of his S2, which is really nice. But yeah, I don't know. He feels a little bit lackluster, perhaps. But anyway, let's talk about Kitty Clarissa. All right. So Kitty Clarissa, which I feel is like much better than Sez in my opinion. Her S1 attacks with a Morning Star. Damage dealt increases proportional to the caster's max health. If the caster is granted Loveliness, triggers dual attack from the ally with the highest attack. Now that is a 100% triggers dual attack as long as she has Loveliness. That is disgusting because that will allow your strongest hero to attack on basically a turn that's not their turn. And we do have artifacts that give you great damage when you do attack when it's not your turn. I believe it's like 30% attack boost or whatever it is. I forget what artifact it is that I'm thinking of right off the hand. I'm sure some of you can tell me in the comment section below. But some kind of a combo like that is disgusting. Like, that is just disgusting. And that's just her turn, her S1. Very, very amazing. Now, after awakening on her, again, S2, with a 4-turn cooldown, Attacks all enemies with a Morning Star while raging with a 60% chance to decrease buff duration by 1 turn. That's crazy. And make them unhealable for 2 turns. If the caster is granted Loveliness, effect chance increases by 20%, which would take that up to an 80% chance. And no doubt, with skill enhancement, you could probably even take it up to 100. Disgusting. Very disgusting. Wow. And then on her S3, which is a cooldown of 6, which I'm assuming she's going to get that down to a 5 with the cooldown, I'm hoping. Wiggles tail cutely, decreasing debuff duration on all allies by 2 turns, which pretty much for the most part will just eviscerate any debuff at that point on your team, and grants the caster immunity and Loveliness for 3 turns. So if you get her cooldown to 5 and her Loveliness is there for 3 turns, her S1 is going to get to go off 3 times, giving you your highest attacker the dual attack 100% chance and going in and doing some crazy damage. Clarissa, very good. Very good. She seems like a very strong unit. She has a nice little gimmick that is very different than a lot of other characters in the game. So she's very unique. And I feel like the way she's built, she could be pretty much good in, I would say, all forms of content, actually. I just feel like, wow. Very, very interesting. Very good, Clarissa. Very good. Meow to you. All right. Hunt stages. Oh, sorry. Hunt updates in Stage 11. Difficulty update. The defense and health of all monsters from the first battle in Hunt have been decreased by 20%. Thank goodness, because we don't really care about the mini wave. We only care about the boss fight. So that is very, very, very cool. First battles with 3 or more monsters from Stage 7 or higher now feature 2 monsters. So I'm assuming that's actually good, because that really cuts it down. Because a lot of them would start with like 4 monsters, and now it's going to go down to 2. I like that. That's a nice change. Makes it, a little bit less tedious to get through your hunts. So Golem Hunt's Mozzie Tetsudo skill Shell Spin has been updated. Attacks all enemies by spinning in its shell and decrease attack for 1 turn. After using the skill, the caster has been reduced for 1. Attacks all enemies by spinning in their shell with a 75% chance to make them unhealable for 2 turns. So that's what it's been changed to. So, oof, unhealable for 2 turns is a bit oof. Item drop improvements. The amount of gold and materials have been increased. Players now have a chance to obtain accessories and hunt. Skystones, Covenant Bookmarks, Mystic Metals, Powder of Knowledge. More energy is now consumed for hunt stages. So that's kind of been the way Smilegate has been kind of buffing stuff, but also kind of nerfing it at the same time. They're increasing the amount of stamina that's needed to do hunt now, but they've increased the rewards. But if the rewards drop rates are for the good rewards are still extremely low, this isn't really much of an improvement, because now the stamina cost is higher, there's more rewards, but if the drop rates for those rewards for the good ones have not increased, then this may not seem like much of a boost to a lot of people, depending on how much you invest into hunts per day. If you do like hundreds and hundreds of stamina per day, this is probably going to be a big improvement, especially with the fact that they're adding Covenant Bookmarks, Skystones, and Mystic Metals, which Mystic Metals are going to be used to do the Mystic Summoning, and Powder of Knowledge, which will help you get some better artifacts. I mean, it could seem good. So we'll have to see. We'll have to do some testing and see exactly how the drop rates are going to fare with these said things. And I'm pretty sure the Covenant Bookmarks, I'm assuming you're probably only going to drop 1 like per run. Like, I don't think you're going to get like ×5, ×10, because I don't think they're going to do that. That'd be kind of crazy though. But yeah. So, Hunt set, Wyvern, critical hit speed. Of course, Golem, attack, health, defense, and Banshee, resist, destruction, lifesteal, and counter. And of course, now stage 1 will be 10 energy, and stage 11 goes up to 20. And of course, stage 11 is the new stage that they have now introduced. I do like, though, that I can see that the item drops have definitely improved. So going back to my previous statement, there is definitely an improvement in the drops for, at the very least, the equipment. And accessories have been added, and oh my god, is that a big, big deal. The energy cost may have went up, But I can let that slide because of the fact that they now added accessories to hunt. That is huge. And they've also, of course, added gold, more gold, sky stones, and stuff like that. So I can completely ignore the fact that energy costs went up based on the fact that, judging by what I'm seeing here, if you can at least do stage 9 or higher, which a lot of people at this point should probably be able to do that if you've been playing for, well, if you're a new player, of course, you're not going to be that high. But if you've been playing for, say, since day 1 or the past couple months, you should be able to farm stage 9 at this point for the most part. And you're going to be getting rare to epic level 55 to 85 equipment, and rare epic level 55 to 70 accessory. So that's not bad. And you're going to get level 70 to 85 materials on top of sky stones, powder of knowledge, covenant bookmarks, and mystic metals. It doesn't look like you start getting covenant bookmarks until you can beat at least stage 6. But like I said, a lot of people are going to be able to get to that point pretty fast. Even if you're new, it should take you maybe 2-3 weeks, and you should be already fighting stage 6 and 7 easily without a problem. Getting 90, 100k CP teams. You should be able to knock out 6 and 7 for pretty much all the hunts pretty easily at that point, especially if you do it manually. But yeah, so back to that, the drop rates seem to have improved. At least the stamina did go up, yes, but they did add better drop rates, hopefully, for the equipment. We don't know what the actual drop rate is, between rare to epic grade, but at the very least, they're going to be at least level, higher tier levels, so that's good at the very least. Plus, they added all the other stuff, so we can definitely justify the increased stamina there. Hazel specialty change. Now, this one is very disappointing. It's about to become a very negative experience from here on out. Well, maybe not for the rest of the video, but for this part here, for this portion. So, if you guys don't want to feel misery and shame and just feel completely slapped around, or just feel as if though someone just flipped you off, probably want to skip this portion of the video. But Hazel specialty change, Mascot Hazel, is here. Now, her art, her design looks fantastic. She looks amazing. I like it. They even got her here in action. Really, really cool. She's getting ready to use her finishing move here. As you can see, her S3. A girl in uniform is what they're calling it. Now, how good is it? Encourages allies but increases attack of the target and allies for 1 turn. 1 turn. And it recovers health of all allies. If the target is a fire elemental hero, increases attack greater for 1 turn. This effect can only be applied for 1 ally. Amount recovered increases proportional to the target's max health and a caster's attack, obviously. Garbage. Absolutely garbage. Even if the attack greater is like an additional 100% attack boost, it has to be a fire elemental hero, and it can only be on 1 ally. So they're basically trying to push Hazel into being ran with a mono fire team. And that really, really hampers her usability, because now she loses a lot of flexibility. She can't just be put into, plugged into any team comp, because now they're kind of wanting her to be ran with all fire heroes to take maximum advantage of her new S3. And it gets even worse when we look at the skill tree. And I personally is very, very pissed off, because I actually maxed leveled her, got her 5-star awakened, saved up a bunch of fire runes, and I 6-starred her in hopes that she was going to be a very, very good and competent support and healer with this specialty change. A lot of us thought she was going to get a defense up, a critical reduction up, a critical rate up, or, maybe even a cleanse. Something that could have helped a lot of us who don't have Angelica, or help even in other regards if you don't have a DN. Unfortunately, she completely is not going to fill that void at all. So right here, you got to eliminate 500 mysterious magic. You got to do 150 hunts, which, as you guys know, hunt minimum is now 10 stamina. So that is 1,500 stamina minimum. You got to gift 6 Mysterious Flash Catalyst, and of course win the trial battle. So she's not going to be some quick getting done, you know, maybe some of you may not even get her done in a day. I mean, 150 hunts is still 150 hunts. That's still quite a bit of time and a lot of stamina. And I mean a lot of stamina. And I don't know if she's worth it, to be honest. I might specialty change her because I've already invested heavily into her personally. But for those of you who haven't, you may just kind of disregard this and just kind of, you know, do your hunts, but not really focus mainly on getting her specialty change anytime soon. You'll just do it whenever you get it done. Very unfortunate. I'm just very disappointed with Mascot Hazel. If you are disappointed as well, please let me know in the comment section below, because this just seems like a slap in the face because of how much they've hyped up Hazel. Rune enhancement results: increase health by 20%. Increase speed by 5, increase speed by 5, so pretty much increase her speed by 10. Increase the effectiveness of all elemental elements by a maximum of 10%. So she's going to give you a 10% effectiveness on all allies, even if they are not fire. Increase attack of all elemental elements by a maximum of 10%. So everyone's going to get a 10% attack boost. And healing of urgent regen increases for targets with less than 50%. Increases the caster's combat readiness when using urgent regen if the target is a fire elemental hero by a maximum of 10%, and has a chance to grant continuous healing to the ally for 2 turns if the ally is again a fire elemental hero when using a girl in a maximum of 20%. Increases the unhealable debuff effect of a Book of Fire by a maximum of 25%. So I think you can get her S1 up to like 75% now, I do believe, with that. Recovers health proportional to the damage done by using a maximum of 5%. So it's very lackluster, to say the least. She gets no cleanse. She gets no self-barrier. Man, she doesn't get any kind of like really significant buff that we would have wanted on her S3. It's, I don't know. I feel like her specialty change literally changed the entire style of what the character was originally meant to be. Generally, the specialty changes in the past, the other ones were like adding on to what they already were. I feel like this one completely changed what she was into something completely different. And I don't know if a lot of people is going to like this change, because now they're basically wanting you to run her in a mono fire team. And I don't know. But that's all I'm going to say. You guys can let me know in the comment section what you think. I am personally not a fan of this specialty change. I feel like this might be one of the worst specialty changes in the game. I feel like she's even worse than Ruzid when it comes to like the list of specialty changes, you know, in order of from worst to greatest. I feel like she might be in the bottom. Like, oof, man, what a disappointment. Chatting, a new chat feature has been added to the game, so you guys can have fun with that. We're gonna see all those bots saying, hey, get all this unlimited bookmarks and unlimited sky stones at blah blah blah.com. You guys are gonna be seeing that all over the place. Get ready for that. All right. Mystic Summons, this is the new feature they added. Mystic Summons are now available, providing a rotating pool of heroes and artifacts available for summon. If you see a hero or artifact that you want in the Mystic Summon pool, do not miss your chance to try it. So I like that they rotate characters in and out of it. So if you're waiting for specific characters that are going to be entered, only summon when they're available. That way you guys have a better chance of pulling those said units. For me, I apparently now need to still get an Angelica because Hazel just was a disappointment. RIP. Players can use 50 Mystic Medals to do 1 Mystic Summon. Tap the available hero icon to see which hero is currently being summoned and see how much time the remaining list changes. So that is very good. And it looks like it's like 3 days, 23 hours, stuff like that. So I don't know. It's pretty interesting. And I like how like the Moonlight ones are there for like a month or 2, it looks like. And the normal ones and artifacts are there for an even less amount of time. See, that is very interesting, because that really lessens the pool available, but I still feel like the Moonlight heroes drop rates are going to be very, very low. And I hope that Moonlight can get, you know, thrown into the mix here at some point, because, wow, you know we all be trying to summon that boy. All right, let's keep going. So much to go over. Mystic Medals can be obtained from Guild Wars. Additionally, they have a chance to drop in the hunt stages 7 or higher. So they're really trying to tell us to go out there and do some hunts, man. All right, 7 friendship summon improvements. 2-star penguins and mega phantasms can now be obtained from friendship summons. OMFG. You have no idea, and I mean absolutely no idea, how much this will help to get 6-star heroes. Could you imagine doing a summon and getting like 4 or 5 mega phantasmas? Like that? Wow. And you know how many friendship points we have in this game? They are really trying to hammer home, hey man, don't save up 30, 40,000 friendship points. Go out there and summon and try and get yourself some 2-star penguins and some mega phantasmas. What? Bruh, I like that change. That is golf clap for you, Small Gate, on that one. That is a change I do love. Love that. Other improvements and bug fixes. Artifacts. Skill level no longer displays on bottom. Bottle of Knowledge and Artifact Charms. The max skill of an artifact now displays in inventory and enhanced windows. Alright. The arena. The limit is the amount of energy that can be purchased from conquest points in the shop has been increased from 1 to 3. So they really want us to be able to do some more arena per day as well. I actually like that. And I'm sure a lot of you out there that are hardcore PvP players are all about that as well. Alright, when deciding who to target, AI is no longer takes the order. Nice. That's a nice quality of life improvement there. Labyrinth. When elite monsters in Labyrinth use counter the attack and the counter attack buff now display. Okay, so just a little bit of this and that there. I don't want to go through all this because the video is already quite long. Side stories. Typos in a side story have been fixed. Okay, UI and miscellaneous fixes. The category of resources that are used to summon has been renamed to Summon. Galaxy bookmarks, Covenant bookmarks, Friendship bookmarks, Mixed Media, and some other various changes. So that is it for the 130. Yes, we are here already at the end of January, guys. Wow, it is going quick here in 2019. We are at the 130 content update here, the patch notes, whatever. Hope you guys all enjoyed that. That was a long one. For those of you who have stayed this long, definitely say hallelujah in the comment section below. If you made it this far in the video, drop a like if you did as well. Comment what you guys think about these changes. Let me know all that and more, and I'll be back at you all with another Epic 7 video. Probably going to be going over the new Lunar New Year check-in event, so that'll be our next video, so be sure to check that as well. And of course, subscribe if you're new here to the channel, and join us in the description below in our Discord. So until then, I wish you all well and have a great and awesome day wherever you are. Until then, peace.